Welcome to week 6 of 2 Cents from a League Manager. I'm your host, Matthew Hood, where I bring you all the news from a motley crew. This week's 2 Cents is brought to you by Sierra Nevada Torpedo. Anyway, we had a train wreck of a week. Honestly, guys, this was not pretty. Admittedly, I was playing golf on Sunday, so I didn't watch any of the scores in real time, so bear with me. Okay, let's get down to it. First, we'll start off with our highest scoring matchup of the week, where Jefferson Airplane took on Rise Up Mile High. And this was honestly quite the even matchup if you look at these two teams. They're both playoff contenders. But things just aren't going the right way for Jefferson Airplane. We had a huge score from Stephon Diggs for Rise Up Mile High, and ultimately this team had too many big scores to be stopped. Jefferson Airplane tried to stop them with big scores from Deion Jackson, of all people. Can you imagine? Let's hope Tua is back soon for personnel's sake. How about that? Regardless, it wasn't enough, and Rise Up Mile High takes the win 110-101. Rise Up Mile High furthers their lead, and they are trying to solidify another playoff spot. I don't like it, but they're putting in the work. Let's keep moving. We'll flip the tables to our lowest scoring matchup of the week. Billy Bob's Brawlers taking on Julio's Whorehouse. And this should not have been a close matchup. I think we all think that Billy Bob's Brawlers is the juggernaut that they are. I think we were all shocked this was quite the low baller. No one had any breakout performances, but Billy Bob's Brawlers had enough mediocre performances to solidify the win and get it over with. I said it once and I'll say it again. Seamus, stop relying on Josh Allen. You're a Bills groupie and this band ain't going on tour anytime soon, man. Brawlers take the win 89-72. Now we'll get to a matchup that I think we all had our eyes on here. The 4-1 Daily Worker taking on the 4-1 Get Swifty, both Ravel members. This was a great matchup to watch and reflect on what could have gone differently for both of these teams, because this was a crucial matchup. Unfortunately for the Daily Worker, it's a repeat of the previous matchup we had just talked about. There just weren't too many breakout players to get going this week. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm saying they're talented. Clearly they are. It just wasn't their week. Of all players, Get Swifty had Ramondre Stevenson break out, despite a lackluster performance from the Jaguars defense, as much as that really hurts me to say. But that's okay. Get Swifty takes the win 98-85. We'll move to a matchup between a recently renamed team. This is some hot news here. The former Cal Bob Ranch Pants have changed their name to Herbs to You, Mr. Robinson. I believe that is a play on the classic Simon and Garfunkel song, Here's to You, Mrs. Robinson. They were taking on Juicing My Balls. Sorry. Now, I heard a lot of hopes coming from Daniel Jones this week. I'm going to be honest, he was in my ear. He was thinking this was really finally the week that he was going to turn around this team. And it was possible, don't get me wrong. We had hope after Brian Robinson turned in his slightly above average performance on Thursday night. But honestly, it was just not enough, truth be told. There weren't many deficits for this team, either team, to be honest. But it was just quite not enough to take down Feldner and his team. Decent scores all across the board, leading Juicing My Balls to the victory, 101-91. Finally, we'll take a look at a matchup I was very invested in, of course. The Vandalay Latex Salesman taking on the Big Booty Judies. I had Greg Chatton. He was right here all week long. He was set on making his way to playoffs starting with this week. The Latex Salesmen were pretty terrified, to be honest, with Curtis Samuel putting up 1.6 points on Thursday. And rightfully so. You know, despite Tyreek blowing up for the Latex Salesmen, we all know you need more than one player to do well. The Judies sailed by with confidence from everyone. Bon voyage to the Latex Salesmen. They take the win. Scratch that. Wrong phrasing there. The Big Booty Judies take the win, 105-78. Okay, so lastly, we'll do a little news segment here. We'll take a look at the playoff pictures. We're already halfway through the season at this point. Can you believe it, folks? We still have 4 Ravels at the top of the leaderboard. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't like it. The Big Booty Judies and the Juicing My Balls are right on their tail. The Brawlers have a tough matchup this week against a revamped Vandalay Latex Salesman team, though, so let's watch that one. And then we also got a Rabel matchup between Get Swifty taking on Rise Up Mile High. And we have Jujuicing My Balls taking on the Daily Worker. So a lot of shakeups coming this week, folks. Let's keep an eye on these games, people, because things are about to get interesting. I'm your host, Matthew Hood, signing off. I'll see you next week, folks.